Imagine losing your job for simply being kind, only to discover the very next day that the stranger you helped wasn't just anyone, but the one person who could change your entire life forever. This is the story of Emily, a small-town waitress whose act of kindness set off a chain of events no one could have predicted. Stay with me till the end, because what happens in the final moments will leave you speechless. Emily Parker had been working at Sonny's Diner for nearly 5 years. The pay was barely enough to keep the lights on at her small apartment, but she stayed because she loved people. She knew most of the regulars by name and always made newcomers feel welcome. One rainy Tuesday evening, a tired-looking man in old jeans and a faded jacket came in. His shoes were muddy, his hands calloused, and his eyes weary. Most of the other waitresses ignored him, assuming he was just another drifter looking for cheap food. But Emily noticed something. The man's hands were trembling as he reached for the menu. "Sir, are you all right?" she asked gently, pouring him a glass of water before he even ordered. The man smiled faintly. "I'm fine, just haven't had a proper meal in a while." Emily knew the diner's strict rule, never give away free food. But something inside her couldn't let him go hungry. She paid for a hot meal out of her own pocket, sneaking in an extra slice of pie she knew the manager would disapprove of. The man's eyes welled up as he whispered, "Thank you, young lady. You have no idea what this means to me." But not everyone saw it as kindness. Her manager, Mr. Collins, had been watching. He stormed out of his office. "Emily. Step into my office right now." Minutes later, the decision was made, she was fired. Her heart shattered. Emily tried to explain, but Collins sneered, "Rules are rules. If you can't follow them, you don't belong here." That night, Emily walked home in the pouring rain, holding her final paycheck. She felt humiliated, punished for doing what she thought was right. Emily spent that night curled up on her couch, crying into her hands. Her bills were stacked high on the table. Her mother's medical expenses were already overwhelming, and now she had no job to cover them. Her friends told her she had been foolish to break the rules. "The world doesn't reward kindness," one of them said. "It only punishes it." But deep inside, Emily couldn't regret her choice. She replayed the stranger's grateful eyes in her mind. At least for one night, he wasn't hungry. That thought gave her the tiniest sliver of peace. The next morning, however, something unexpected happened. There was a knock on her door. When she opened it, Emily froze. Standing before her wasn't the shabby man from last night, but the very same man, now in a crisp tailored suit, polished shoes, and a confident smile. Behind him stood a car that probably cost more than Emily's apartment building. Her breath caught. What was happening? The man extended his hand. "Emily Parker, my name is Richard Hale. I'm the CEO of Hale Enterprises, the company that owns Sonny's Diner." Emily's knees nearly gave way. You own the diner?" Richard nodded. "I was visiting Undercover. I wanted to see how my diners treat their customers when they think no one important is watching. Most people ignored me. But you went above and beyond. You gave me kindness when you had no reason to." Emily's lips parted, but no words came out. Richard continued, his voice steady but filled with admiration. "Last night, when you helped me, I saw the heart this company is supposed to stand for. Then I learned you were fired for it. That is unacceptable." Before Emily could respond, Richard handed her an envelope. Inside was not only a letter of reinstatement but also an offer, a promotion to assistant manager, with double her previous salary. Tears filled Emily's eyes. "But, why me?" "Because," Richard said with a smile, "kindness is rare. And I need people like you to lead this company forward. You taught me more about my business than any report ever could." When Emily walked back into Sonny's Diner the next day, it wasn't as a waitress, but as the new assistant manager. The staff whispered, the customers clapped, and even her old manager Mr. Collins looked pale with shock. Richard addressed everyone in the diner. Emily showed us that rules mean nothing without humanity. From today forward, this company will reward compassion, not punish it. Emily's life changed overnight. Her bills were paid, her mother's treatment continued, and for the first time in years, hope filled her heart. But Emily didn't stop there. She made it her mission to ensure every customer who walked through Sunny's doors felt seen, valued, and cared for, no matter their appearance. Emily's story reminds us all, sometimes the smallest act of kindness can lead to the biggest changes. She lost her job for helping a stranger, but in truth, she gained a future she never dreamed of. So the next time you're faced with a choice between following the rules or following your heart, remember, kindness may just be the key that opens the door to your greatest destiny.